Hello, all my sexy friends. It's Shara here, and I know I haven't done a color and chat in a while, and I thought I'd get on while it's nice and quiet here. I'm still in New Zealand visiting my daughter and my grandchildren, and it's just after midnight, and I thought I would get on and color a page. So I'm going to color a page in tropical scenes by Color It, and I've decided I have the 36 set of the Faber-Castell classics, and I'm just going to use only blue and green from the set. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pencils. So I'll do this with 11 pencils, and it should be fun. Sorry if I'm making a bunch of noise. So the camera setup isn't ideal, but it should work for us. I already picked a page here. I thought this one would be nice to color in a monotone kind of set. So alrighty, well, we will get started. How is everyone doing? I trust that everyone is doing well. I've caught a couple of you on some live streams, and I have popped into a few, and I did post the brief forest bathing video the other day when we went to Akaroa, I know I say that wrong, Akaroa, which is here in New Zealand, about 2 hours away from Ashburton, where my daughter stays, and Ashburton is about an hour's drive south of Christchurch, which is the big city here in the South Island of New Zealand, and that's where the airport is that I fly into. So it's Akaroa is a peninsula that juts out just south of Christchurch at the coastline, of course. And it was beautiful. It's very cold, but it was beautiful. The scenery there is just breathtaking, and there was some fun things to do, and we got some beautiful pictures of the kids, and so that was fun, and it was nice to get out, and even the drive was pleasant because it's just so beautiful. So okay, let me get started on this one. I'm not sure which one I want to start with. I should probably start with the one furthest away on the left. I usually tend to work like this because I don't like to run my hand over what I've already colored. Let me see what I want to start with. I don't even know. You know me. I just like to gab. I don't really necessarily get a lot done when I do these color chats. I think a lot of people have that happen. I know Jen from Reading with Pugs does that, and then Anne at Colorful Life, she just has it down, but she does the voiceovers, and I don't even know how to do that, so I won't even attempt that. So let's see. I think I will start with the background on this one, and I think I will do this really pretty turquoisey color. So here we go. Anyway, so as most of you know, I am here. My daughter and grandson, Andrew, lived in California with me. Well, not physically with me. We did live together until Andrew was about 4 years old, and but we've always lived close. And just over a year ago, in July of 2018, her then partner, now husband, Stanley, moved here. He was born in New Zealand, but he was mostly raised in the United States. They decided that they would move to New Zealand. It was better opportunities for Stanley, and it is an incredible place to raise children. So Sabrina was pregnant at the time, and they moved here in July. In June. And just about a month after I came with Sabrina and Andrew, who was 6 at the time. Stanley was already here in New Zealand. We came out the beginning of June, and she had William, a.k.a. Liam, a.k.a. Yum Yum. I call him Yum Yum. He was born on July 12th, and then Sabrina and Stanley actually got married just before Liam was born. They've been together since they were 14 years old, and they just had their 3rd child. Catalina Joanne was born on August 1st. She wasn't due until August 23rd, but I think she wanted to come early to give her grandma more time to spend with her. So she came into this world on August 1st, and so she and Liam are almost 13 months apart. Like, I guess they're a year and 20 days apart. And then Andrew is 7.5. And I think Sabrina wants to hold off for a little while. They want 6 kids altogether, so they're going to wait about 5 years. They're very young, so they are both 23.5, so they have plenty of time to have babies, but they're doing fantastic. They live in a nice house close to Stanley's sisters, who live here also. Stanley's dad lives in Tonga, and his mom lives in Salt Lake City. She has a total of 17 grandchildren, but she's only met... Well, Sabrina flew out with William and Andrew this past April. So they went out, they came to visit me, and then they also came for baptism for Stanley's sister's daughter, so their niece. She turned 8, and that's when the church baptizes them. And at that time, the oldest grandchild that lives here in New Zealand flew out, and she had not met her grandmother. Her grandmother has only met the 3 grandchildren that live in the United States. One is older than Andrew, and the other 2 are younger than Andrew. And then they've met Andrew. So she's only met 4 of her grandchildren. So then she met her oldest, who is now 18. And then she also met William, who was like 10 months old at the time, or 9 months old. And so I don't know where I was going with that, but she does live in Salt Lake City with the 3 grandchildren by her daughter, 2 boys and a girl. The boys are 4 and 5, and the girl is she's 8, so she's like 8 months older than Andrew. And so she has a total of 17 grandchildren. Catalina became the 17th. and it's my third grandchild, her two brothers and her. So, and I have been out here to New Zealand already 4 times. It just kills me for them to be so far away, and I feel very fortunate that I've been able to come out. I don't know how poor Ofa handles not having been here, so I know she's coming out in December, so that'll be fantastic for her. But I plan to come out every few months. I would move here in a heartbeat if I could, but I don't see that happening. It's very, very hard to migrate to New Zealand. With my disabilities, I really can't get a work visa. I have the education and I have my teaching credential still, and I could teach. But to come over as a skilled migrant worker, which means you have a skill that they desire, it's highly needed in the country. You have to take an evaluation, and you have to score like over 100 on the evaluation, and I did. I scored 110. But they're only accepting applications of 160. So if I was a brain surgeon or something, but you don't actually have to have a job offer at that point. You just have to have a desirable skill, job or skill, and. So I don't see that happening. And then to retire here, which I do receive retirement, so I make enough money financially. They need you to make a certain amount per year, and I meet that qualification. However, to retire here, you have to make a yearly salary, and that's, fine. But then you have to invest $1 million into the New Zealand economy within the next 4 years after you're here. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. So that wasn't an option, and, I could go back to school, and I have some things I'd like to, to continue with my education, but I don't know that I want to transfer as a student, or apply for a student visa. I'd have to check into all of that. I don't know if there's an age limit. I know with the skilled migrant worker, you have to be under 56 years old. So, and I'm 52, so if I was going to do that, I'd need to be doing that relatively soon. And then, what are some others? Now, there is a grandparent visa, but it's not a resident status. It's just a visa. And it's good for 3 years, and there's no cost. And you can come and go as often as you like to New Zealand and back. You can stay for a total of 6 months per year and a total of 18 months over the 3-year period. So you can stay longer than the 90-day visitor visa, and that's nice. But I don't, especially with the kids being so little, 6 months is a long time. They change so much, and so much is going on, and I know it would save money if I would come for 6 months and then go back to the States for 6 months, but I really think for me, it's better to do 3 months here, 3 months home, 3 months here, 3 months home. I do have to add 2 extra plane tickets a year with that choice. And you know, I have to kind of weigh the pros and cons. And you know, I have my dogs, and even though my son you know, is fine with them with this trip, you know, I can't expect that he's going to be their sole, you know, caretaker for the entire 6 months that I'm gone. You know, he may want to go on vacation or do something, and so that's one of the issues. And you know, my health is good. I would say that, you know, I'm very stable, but it would kind of be a nightmare to try to be gone for 6 months, you know, with different tests that I have to have done every few months, and my prescription medication and doctor's visits and stuff. I don't know that 6 months is a very wise interval between visits with the doctor. I think 6 months is stretching it a little bit, and I don't need to compromise my health at all. So for now, I'm doing the every 3 months, and it's okay. Actually, I did have a little bit longer stretch this time because my daughter and the boys, came out in April. So I had gone June and July, and then September, October, and then January, February, and then she came out in April, and then I didn't come out this last time until July. So I went from February, April, May, June, July. I went 5 months or 4.5 months without coming out. So, but that she's not going to be making any trips anytime soon, and not with 3 babies or 3 kids. There's just no way. I mean, it was tough on her. Well, she was pregnant, but it was very tough on her with Liam. He was 9 months old, and he's a rambunctious boy. You know, he's typical. You know, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just active, and he walked early. He walked at 10 months, and he, he's a go-getter. So he's incredible. He actually, we were noticing, he says like 9 words already. And, other people may not completely understand, but we understand. I mean, he says the same thing every time. So we know that he's, he does know some sign language, but he is vocalizing the same sound for objects, like apple. He does not say apple, but what he says is ah, because we sing this song, apple, and that's to teach them the alphabet and the sound that the letter makes, not just repeating the song, not just learning a song and not understanding. That's actually teaching the sound. So he sees an apple or even a piece of an apple, and he'll say, ah. So we know that, he's only 13 months, so pretty darn good. And he says Andrew and Mama and Dada, and he has a cousin named William, and William's been staying here a lot, so we're pretty sure he's saying William. He says Nana for the baby, so Catalina, he says Nana. He says Tyson, which is his auntie's doggy, and he loves Tyson, so he'll say Tyson. He says Andrew. He might be saying Grandma, but I might be wishful thinking. He does the sign for water and all done, and he hasn't been using the sign for more, even though he knows it. He's been screaming, so that's a new thing for him. And he'll point or he'll grab your finger. I was shocked the other day. He grabbed my finger and wanted me to go somewhere, and he thought the living room was a mess and he needed to get the vacuum. And he gets the, it's a canister vacuum, and he gets the wand, and it's just, you know, it comes apart. We just give him the small end of the wand, and he goes around and he vacuums. So he had all of a sudden just got up from playing, and the baby swing had been moved out, and he started pushing it, trying to get it back into its proper spot. And then the next thing, he's grabbing Grandma's hand to take him. It's so cold, and we have to keep the door to the lounge closed, so the heater is on. So he went to the closed door and, you know, just had my hand. Obviously he figured out he wanted me to open the door, and he walked right to the vacuum and went right in and cleaned the living room, or thought he was vacuuming. I thought it was just adorable. He's just so funny. He dances really a lot, and he walks backwards, and his favorite thing now is spinning. That kid loves to spin, and he will just spin until he is dizzy, and then he just sits on the floor and just looks around with this crazy look on his face, like he's just so into it, like, whoa, I'm so dizzy. And it's just a crack up. He just gets the most adorable look on his face. So I'm just gonna darken up these lines, give it some, you know, with only having 11 colors that I'm using, I'm definitely gonna have to dark and light with each pencil. I'm going to have to use them a little differently. So this should be like a yellowish green. These don't have names on them. I don't know if many of you are familiar with the Faber-Castell Classics. They have this spot and it says name, and I don't know if that means you're supposed to put your name, or if you're supposed to write a name for the color. I just have them blank, and I just went by the barrel color and chose the blue and green ones. So even though this comes out pretty yellow, it is a green pencil based on the color of its painted barrel. So I love them. These are great. I only brought my Pablos here to this trip, and I did bring some markers, but only my 24 set of Prisma Premier markers, and then Prismacolor Premier. And then I did bring my my skin tone case that I have several different brands, and I have skin tones for each of those polys and prismas, color softs, black widows, Lyras. I think that's it. So I have those, but so while I was here, these went on sale, so I went ahead and bought them. These the classics, and I just love them. And they work good in coloring books. The Pablos are fantastic for my PDF printouts when I print out on a really good paper, and but these just I don't know, they just work so nice in a coloring book, or even the colorette. The paper is phenomenal in these, but it's still not the same as what I print on. And so there's no need in wasting the Pablos, on a color book page as much. A fun one like this is fine to, I don't mind using them, but they're for more, I like to use those when they will really shine, when they'll do something real drastic or real, effective on a page. So, and I'm by far an artist. I am not an artist in the least, and so I don't draw or anything. I am. Oh, I did also bring my Lyra Aquacolor. They're a lot like the, or I believe them to be a lot like the Neocolor 2s, which I have not even seen before, only on videos. I've never seen them in person. But from what I have read and what I have, observed, they're very much like them. I think they're great. I'm very brand new to watercolor. I've just barely graduated from the little Crayola sets that your parents would buy for, 50 cents at the 5 and dime back in the 70s. And I haven't progressed in watercolor much more than that. So I like the Aquacolor a lot, and I like the paper. I did buy some watercolor paper. It's bamboo watercolor paper, and I really do like some faces, some women's faces that I have in PDF, and I printed out on there. I did print some other things because the faces, I don't have a lot of skin tones in those, but the backgrounds work really nice on the watercolor paper. I've never used watercolor paper, so I can't compare it other than to using watercolor in a regular coloring book. And the paper pills up, and it absorbs too quick, and it won't sit on top and allow you to move it. Where I felt like the bamboo water paper that I bought was very economical. So I'm believing it's probably not the absolute best watercolor paper, but it surely suited my needs and is helping me. I've done a few backgrounds, and I just don't have any more of that paper. What I brought with me, I've already used up, so I was kind of bummed about that. And so I have several coloring books. I brought 3 coloring books with me, Daydreams, Tropical Scenes, and Enchanted Faces, but I also have a couple of coloring books that I leave here. A Chibi Girls one, can't remember what the other ones are. I think it's the it's the one that has all their books, all of Jade Summer books. It has a couple of pages from each book, like the most popular or something like that. It's called, 100 most popular, or I don't know. I don't have it right here on hand, so I can't tell you. Anyway, so I have those, and then I have a Deborah Moeller phrases a book, and it's very cute. So yeah, I have plenty to color. I just don't have any more of the watercolor paper, so that's okay. I'll play with it when I get back to the States, and which I'm not even trying to talk about because I'm already getting a little apprehensive that I will have to leave. And it's just hard when a baby is so small. They just change, they change from day to day, but for 6 months or 3 months, it's just, the changes are just so drastic. And I know there's FaceTime and it's all wonderful, and I feel very fortunate that we can do that as well, but it's just not the same. And I was very spoiled because Andrew was born when Sabrina was still a teenager, and so she lived, under our roof, and Andrew was the love of our lives, mine and my husband did, after my stroke, my husband moved back in to help. We had 2 minor children still, and, I was completely incapacitated, so he moved back in, to do what he had to do, and then Andrew was born a few months later. And, we got to, be there for everything, for the first 4 years, we were there, we were 100% involved. And so it's so hard with them not being, it's hard enough not living with them still, let alone that, they live on the other hemisphere from you. So yeah, it's a tough one. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this. I like them pretty sharp. I think the color at paper is almost soft, so it, I don't know how to explain it, but if it, excuse me, sorry for my arm. Anyway, this is the greatest little pencil sharpener I got with the box of the Faber-Castell Classics, and it just works. I'm not holding my pencil properly, but it just works so fabulous. And my hand is just in the way with the tripod, so I'm not doing a very good job of it right now. But I've kept it sharp by using a graphite pencil on it. But it's just the cutest little one, and it's so nice on these pencils. And then I have this adorable, I had bought this when I was here. I think this was the second time I was here. I found that little trash can. It's adorable. So my I forgot to bring my manual crank sharpener, my deli, and so I was glad that I have my M&R, and I always bring that. And then, but it was nice that I got one with the pencils, and it works so well on it. So that was good. Anyway, I feel like I just talk. But I guess that's what it's supposed to be. It's a color and chat. I do miss being home. I am going to miss my youngest son's birthday. His birthday is September 2nd. And Gotti is getting blessed at the church on Sunday. And it's also Father's Day here in New Zealand. Father's Day is always the first Sunday of, the first Sunday of September. And I think that's right. So it's also Father's Day. And so it'll be nice. It'll be a nice celebration day. I don't generally go with them to church, but I will go this Sunday to see Kathy get blessed, and then I don't know how we're going to celebrate Father's Day. I don't know if we're going to do it at the at the gym as a group gathering, or if it's just going to be family. I'm not sure, but it'll be nice. And of course, Kathy has the cutest dress for her blessing, and I'm excited about that. I actually bought her 2 dresses. I bought her a second dress, and Sabrina thinks it'll be great to put her in after because it's not as foofy and it won't be. It's very comfortable, and it'll be much more comfy for her to wear for the remainder of the day instead of the big poofy, the big poofy lacy, dress for her blessing. But it is adorable. Sabrina and I took a while to pick it, and it's just so cute. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. I think I will go to this one here, and I'm going to do the background in this darker blue. Like I said, I don't have any names for these. And because there's only 36, I haven't swatched them or anything. I just try them out. And I've been using these exclusively since I got them. And I'm having a blast with them. I've used every color in the set, which, there's only 36. So that should be, I should be using every color. And I think they have a pretty good selection considering there are only 36. I tried to get the 48 set, and for some reason it's the same price here. The 36 and the 48 set is the same price, and I don't know why. And I don't question because I don't want to, bring it. I don't want them to make the price higher on the 48 set. But yeah, it's the same price, and but they didn't have the 48 set in stock when I went, and it wasn't something that I needed to order online. So I just got the 36 set, and it works great. I did not need more pencils, and maybe I'll just leave them here. So they're always here, but then again, I was thinking they would make great travel pencils. I wouldn't be too worried about losing them. They color extremely well, and 36 is a nice number for having on, having on you to do when you're traveling. So I'll probably end up keeping them. I have this great bag that I've shown you guys before that you can hold your supplies, and it sits as a cup, and then you can just pull it up, and it zips and then becomes a zippered pencil case. So it works perfect. It's not big or bulky, and it holds the 36 very nicely, and some accessories, pencil sharpener and a white gel pen and an eraser, a sticky eraser, or the pencil eraser, a glitter pen, I don't know, some other things, and it fits nicely, and I can just carry it along with me when I travel. So that always is nice. And I had some of those double-ended pencils. That one side is blue and the other side is green, and I thought they were perfect for traveling, and they were just horrid. They just broke all the time. I couldn't sharpen them. They were, didn't need them to be fancy, but they were terrible. I'm like, I would have been better off sticking some Crayolas in there. They were way worse than Crayolas. And I don't even know what brand they were, but I got rid of those, and decided I will carry the the ones I got today, or that I'm showing you today, when I travel home. So, because I have a long layover in Brisbane, which it's not quite as bad as the layover I had on the way here. I had a 13-hour layover, and that's why I met up with my son that lives in Australia. But it is several hours, and then I have one more stop, and I think I lay over for, or I have a 3-hour layover. So it'll be nice. I'll just sit in color. And I actually, instead of going through LAX, which is horrible, I hate it. My son hates it, and then he always ends up, being stuck in traffic to get there, and then being stuck in traffic to get home, and it ends up being, a 6-hour trip. And then it's twice, to come pick me up as well. And so I made arrangements. I'm like, I don't care if I'm waiting. I'm either waiting in the car in traffic or I'm waiting at the airport. And at least in the airport, I can pull out my coloring and color. And so I actually was only $100 more for the entire trip, not each leg of it. $100 more total to fly in and out of San Diego, which is a 5-minute drive from our house. We actually see the airplanes as they're landing from our apartment building. They're not loud or anything the way that our apartment is designed. That we don't have the noise, but we definitely can see them landing. And so it's going to take him no time at all to go pick me up, and then we're done with it. And I'm like, that was worth $100. You can't even get an Uber for $100 or a shuttle to take you home from the airport for $100. So, not from LAX. And living in San Diego, LAX is a good 2-hour drive on a good day, and it's never a good day. There's always traffic, always in LA. I mean, I don't know. 2 in the morning, there can be traffic. 3 in the afternoon, there's definitely going to be traffic. And you just never know. So, I decided to go in and out of LAX. San Diego, and I'm really happy with that decision to do that. So, anyway, I don't know how this tiki guy is going to look being only green and blue, but we'll see. I'll, see. I'm not too worried about it. So I'm sorry I have not forest bathed with you more here in New Zealand, but honestly, first off, it's been very cold. And, with the new baby, and even, before the new baby, my daughter was, 8 months pregnant. And, we weren't going to be going to a lot of places. And then, after, we're certainly not going to go with the newborn. And we did have a great time the other day. The weather was, way better than it had been, but it was still pretty cold. And it ended up being quite a big storm came in after. And so we did go on the perfect day. Not a big storm, but cold and raining and, just not idyllic. So it was great the day we went. It was, like I said, it was chilly, especially for this, California girl. But it was doable, and we dressed accordingly, and the kids had a blast. We got ice cream, so it wasn't that cold. If we could sit outside and eat ice cream, we weren't freezing. But I just didn't like the road we had to travel. It was very windy mountain roads, and I just don't do well on those. And as I get older, I get less and less tolerance, I guess you say, you know, feeling sick and getting nervous and stuff, or those drives. But I think I was traumatized as a child. My dad used to make us sick going up mountains, and I don't know. I just am terrified. More terrified going up than down. I don't know why that is, but the fear of not being able to see where we are, I don't know. And I was the same here. And then they drive on the other side of the road, and the driver is on the other side of the car. And so that in itself is a very odd thing and not usual. And, you know, I'm in the back seat with the kids, which is a place I'm not used to being. So, yeah, it's just no good. But we survived. I didn't hit anybody or, you know, wet my pants or anything. So that was a good day. And the ride home was much better, even though... not that we had close calls or anything, but it was just a little bit more of a challenge. I actually was fine. So what have you guys been coloring? I know the new book, Flora, came out, and I know that Hannah Carlson had a new book come out. And so I wonder what people are coloring and what's the newest information about what's good. I saw that there was a Disney Colorathon. It was just so hard for me to keep up. I'm so, you know, involved with the kids and helping my daughter. And, you know, I mean, it's pretty chaotic around this house most of the time. And I'm not sitting, you know, I sit in color at night by myself, but that's just to unwind, so I'm not really looking that much on social media, and I'm definitely not watching. I can watch back some streams, but I really just have gotten used to live streams, and I like to watch videos back when I'm wanting to learn something. You know, I'll watch a video, but I don't know, it's just watching back a chat. I just want to chat and I can't, so then it's frustrating. So I don't know, I'll have to get over that. That's a new thing because I used to watch back all streams, you know, whether I was live or not. But, you know, stuff happened and I'm just kind of taking a break, and you know, it coincided with that I was not going to have enough time to really sit down and dedicate my time as I had before to watching videos. You know, I'm here with my grandkids. I'm going to do with my do what I can with them, and if I can sneak a peek at my phone once in a while, you know, that's fine. But for the most part, you know, I'm doing stuff, and I like it. And we're not going anywhere. Now that the baby's born, we have to take 2 cars when we go anywhere because we don't fit in one car anymore. And they, you know, when you have 2 car seats in a car, it's you know, it's a challenge. And pardon me. And you know, the cars, you know, they just aren't as big and roomy as they used to be. When I was a kid, they were really big and roomy. Oh, I'm starting to get real tired. I know I haven't colored a lot, but I'm getting real tired, and I'm finding myself being a little groggy. I woke up this morning and I felt like I might be getting actually ill. I had like that sore throat where the sides of your throat feel thick, and I almost felt like I had a fever. I didn't, but that's how I felt. Like my eyes were burning and felt real heavy, and I did my drops, but it didn't seem to, really help. And I didn't bring a nasal wash with me, so I don't know if it's that. I could always go get a neti pot or something. But so now that it's been quiet, I'm sitting here talking all monotone and trying to talk quieter than I, normally in my excited voice, and watching American Idol, which I guess is real exciting right now. And, or maybe it's not American Idol. I don't know. Something we were watching. I am not making any sense, people. I am falling asleep. I have no idea what I just said. I might have to cut out this part of the video. I don't know if I can do that, but it'd be nice if I can, because I was making no sense. I think it was partially daydreaming. American Idol, I haven't watched American Idol in years, so I have no idea what I was talking about. I was losing my mind a little bit there. Sorry, guys. Anyway, it's been nice talking to you and catching up a little bit about what I've been doing. I know a lot of you knew that I was here and that my granddaughter was going to be coming soon, and then I was able to post that she had arrived, and but since that point it's been pretty hectic around here. Baby is really good. She's amazing. My daughter is incredible. She's tandem feeding both Liam and the baby breastfeed, and it's adorable when they're on at the same time, and Liam will play with baby girl's hair, and I mean, he's a baby still, so he doesn't know. He'll try to grab her blanket or her eyeballs or, something. So we have to be very careful. But for the most part, he's trying to be very precious and very sweet, and just love on her. Just before she was born, I had kind of taught him that, oh, baby. I had given him, he's very attached to his mom, and he is having some trouble sleeping on his own. So I was trying to help get him, with a snuggly, and he had a baby doll or a stuffed animal, and we wrapped it with a blanket and taught him to hold it and cuddle it and say, oh, baby. I think it's real important for baby boys and girls to learn affection and caring and all of that. So I had gotten him, it's a long story, but I had gotten him a Beanie Boo cow, and that's what it started with. But I also got him the rabbit from Goodnight Moon, and for Easter, and it is very cute. And we had a very small muslin blanket, and it fit around the rabbit perfect. So he holds it, and oh, baby. Well, that's what he was doing to his sister, is he was lay his head on her and do the oh, baby, and with his shoulder. It was just the cutest thing. And then he did kiss her a few times, and that was just adorable. Pretty sure my daughter got pictures, so I will post those up probably tomorrow, or later on today. Anyway, guys, it was so great talking to you. Sorry I got to a point where I wasn't making any sense, and but I am going to head off to bed. I feel like I almost feel like I was run over a little bit, feeling that way all day. I even took a nap, and I'm still feeling quite exhausted. So I think I got a little bug or something. I need to go rest and make sure I take care of myself. So anyway, it was great chatting with you. I hope you are all well, and I would love to hear what you guys have been doing, and you know, anything I should need to know. Go ahead and put it in the comments. I appreciate it so much, guys, and I will be seeing you around. So stay sexy, my friends. Bye.